Hey guys, welcome back to themetalfinisher.com. Today we're going to cover a few topics, but the main focus of this video is to let you know what you need to know before you go out and start a mobile blast business.
Sales Boy!
We'll also be announcing the winner of the Harbor Freight Sandblast Cabinet giveaway, and we'll also announce our September prize giveaway contest and what we'll be giving away and what you need to do to win. And then lastly, we're going to do a quick review of the Bluefield Coal Show that's going to be going on September 11th through the 13th in Bluefield, West Virginia. So stay tuned.
I'm a sales boy!
Alright guys, before we kick off this video, I want to make two announcements. The first being we have our winner of the Harbor Freight Sandblast Cabinet, and then we're going to talk about our September giveaway. So first off, the winner of the blast cabinet is going to be Louis Centrone. I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. Please send me a message on Facebook so I can get some mailing information from you. And our runner-ups, Eric Seaton and Scott Hughes, you guys both send me messages on Facebook as well. I need to get your information because I'll be sending out your gift cards. All right, now on to our September prize giveaway. We are going to be giving away 2 RPB bags. What's an RPB bag? Just take a look up here. You can put all your respirators, your Nova 3, your Nova 2000, whatever you want. Put anything you want in this bag, but we're going to be giving away 2 of those this month, probably by the end of September. I'll get you a date this week on when the cutoff is. But there's 2 things you need to do to be eligible to win. The first is to subscribe to our YouTube channel. You're already on here watching it. Just go ahead and hit subscribe. Now, if you're already a subscriber, you're good to go. The second thing you need to do is go down in the comment section. Sean and I have been asking for months for you guys to let us know if you have any process or product reviews you'd like us to tackle. Well, now's your chance to give us a suggestion and possibly win an RPB bag. Go down there, give us your best idea for a process or project review, or excuse me, a process or a product review. And we'll pick 2 winners. I'll probably pick my favorite and we'll have Sean pick the other one. And not only will you win an RPB bag, we'll actually do a product or process review that you recommended. All right guys, let's jump right into it. Here are a few of my tips of what you need to know before you start a mobile blasting business. Now, I typically don't put these in any particular order, and I'm not going to today, but I'm going to give you my number 1 tip right up front, just in case you don't make it all the way through the video. So, the first thing you need to do, if you're not already on Facebook, get on Facebook. Your competitors are going to be on there, and if you're not on there, you're setting yourself up to be at a disadvantage right out the gate. Now, once you have a Facebook account, you're going to want to start looking for groups that are specific to the mobile blast industry. Now, be very careful on which groups you request to join, because a lot of them have rules, and your main goal here is to get information. You're also going to want to avoid, at least up front, before you get started into the business, is groups that are specific to one manufacturer of equipment or some kind of products. Typically, they're not going to tell you about the cons, but they're going to highlight all the pros of their equipment. Their job is basically to market and sell their equipment. They have great information, but they're probably not always looking out for your best interest. Now that you've gotten your Facebook, you've joined some groups, now it's time to start interacting. You want to go into these groups and ask questions, engage with the members. Many of these guys have been in the industry for decades and they have tons of information and they're more than willing to share it. I got to tell you, Facebook groups have been my top source of information in my 10 short years in the industry. It's basically the best source of free consulting you're ever going to find. So go join these groups. Tip number 2. I'm going to start this off with the question. Do you plan to do dry blast? Maybe wet blast? A combination of both? What kind of work do you want to take on? Industrial? Commercial? You need to know the answer to those questions before you even start to look at equipment. So the tip is, you need to find a piece of equipment that meets your specific needs. I can't tell you how many times I've heard of mobile blasters when they were first getting started, getting suckered into these marketing schemes that promised you would get rich just as long as you buy our equipment. It just doesn't work that way. It's not that easy. If it were that easy, everybody would do it. Hell, I'd be out mobile blasting right now instead of talking to you. So I'm going to say this a lot throughout this entire video is, I'm going to refer you back to tip number 1. First, get all those questions answered. Make sure you know exactly what you need, what you want to do, and what kind of jobs you're going to take on. And then go to these Facebook groups that are Mobile Blast specific and ask these guys who have all the experience. Hell, you can even ask them, if you were to start all over again with the knowledge that you have today, what would you do differently? All right, tip number 3 before you get out and blast. You're going to want to find a local or a semi-local distributor that can offer service, support, and products for the equipment you intend on purchasing. Once you've found one you think meets all or most of your needs, you're going to want to ask for references. You're going to want to talk to their employees. You're going to want to meet with their salesmen. Also, if they sell the equipment that you intend on purchasing, ask them for a demo. If a distributor is selling the equipment you're looking to buy and they won't do a demo of that product for you, that's a serious red flag right out the gate. So now you found a local or a semi-local distributor that either meets all or most of your needs. Here's a couple things to look into. First, the availability of parts and supplies. By parts, I mean your big wear items like nozzles, hoses, couplings, safety gear, and then supplies, the abrasives you plan on using. So, do they stock those items? And if they don't, find out what the lead times are. Now, once you've done that, you're going to refer back to something I said earlier, is ask for references. You're going to want to call or meet with these people and just confirm that everything this distributor told you was accurate. Next thing you're going to look into is field support, or do they have a service team? Remember, you're just starting out in this business and there's a huge learning curve at the beginning. Make sure you find a distributor that has a service team that can help you through the first year or two of you starting your business. Now, you have a distributor. They meet most, if not all, of your needs. They stock all the products and all the abrasive you need on your projects. Now what do? Now it's time to start building a strong relationship with that distributor. I'm a distributor myself, and you will not believe how many calls I get each week of a customer that needs something blasted. Where do you think I send those jobs to? That's right, the companies that have built the best relationships with me. Now, I'm not just a distributor to them anymore. I'm also a lead and referral source. All right, guys, tip number 4, and I'm going to breeze right through this real quick because I'm cringing just thinking about the words that are about to come out of my mouth. This topic is about dealing with salesmen. Now, full disclosure, I am a sales boy. I sell metal finishing products and services to the metal finishing industry, and I always try to be upfront, honest, and helpful, but I still have a job to do. And what's that job? I got to sell products and services. Is this to say that salesmen aren't trustworthy? Heck no. The vast majority of salesmen you're going to encounter on a day-to-day basis are very knowledgeable and very professional, but they have a job to do. So now you're talking to a salesman, and he's trying to sell you on the equipment they have. Do you think he's going to tell you about some problems that maybe customer Chris P. Bacon had down the street? Or maybe some service issues they've had in the past? No. He's a salesman. He's got to make money. He's got to sell products. So he's going to highlight the features and benefits of his specific model. So once you gather all the information, all the features and benefits that he's given you, it's time to go back to tip number 1. Go to your Facebook groups that are specific to the Mobile Blast industry. Find a handful of people that have that equipment and they've had it for several years, maybe even several decades, and ask them, hey, what are the good things about this equipment? What do you really like about it? What areas did you have problems with? What should I expect when I buy this equipment? All right, guys, our last tip is tip number 5. We're going to talk briefly about social media. This seems like a no-brainer to me, but if you're in business, or especially if you're looking to get into business, you're going to want to be on social media. It looks like from the fact that you're watching me right now, you're already there, so maybe just step it up a little bit more. Talk about a few stats here. There are 3.2 billion users worldwide on social media. That's a lot of people, a lot of potential customers. And Facebook, we talked about earlier, alone they have 2.3 billion active monthly users. Of all these billions of users, the average social media user spends 2 hours and 22 minutes a day on social media. I know some mobile blasters that don't even sleep for 2 hours and 22 minutes a day. This is a very important one here. 74% of consumers rely on social media when making buying decisions. Why is that important? Well, if you're not on social media, you're missing out on 74% of the consumers. And yes, consumers are your customers. And then lastly, if you're on social media, which we know you are already, as I stated, you're watching this video, what kind of content do I put out? Well, statistics say that visual content like videos and pictures is 4 times as likely to be shared than any other form of content. So what do we do with this information? Well, you're already on Facebook, you're on Twitter, you got a website and all this stuff. What kind of content do you want to post? Well, you're 4 times as likely to get shared if you put something visual. Go out there and film yourself doing a project or take some pictures after a job, some before and afters. They're 4 times as likely to get shared. Hey guys, before we wrap up this video on themetalfinisher.com, I want to talk to you, or actually just review what we talked about in the last video, which is the Bluefield Coal Show. Coal Show. Well, don't let the coal fool you. It's not all coal, because we're going to have some sweet metal finishing products out there for you to either test out or just take a look at. Here's a list of some of the things we'll have out there. We'll have a Greener Blast. We'll actually have the Greener Blast GBT 760 on its trailer with the big old compressor, all the hoses, nozzles, everything for you to look at. We're also going to have, I think, 2, possibly 3, but I'm pretty sure it's just 2 that we showed in the last video of the Vapor Honing Technology Slurry Blast cabinets. We'll also have a ton of RPB gear out there, whether it's Nova 3 blast respirator, the Weld Z-Link, I think, the T-Link for painters, just a whole bunch of really cool stuff you'll be able to see. We'll also have 2 pots, one by Empire, one by Pirate Brand. They're both, I think, the 650, 6 cubic foot range dry pots. And lastly, we're going to have the Abrasive Finishing manufactured burr bench vibratory equipment. If you have any parts that need a polish, deburring, they'll have a machine out there for you to look at. So what you need to do to make sure you get registered, you can't just show up. You need to contact Stephanie Baker. I put her email wrong in the last video, so it's going to be Stephanie, S-T, whatever, the rest of it. Just get it off of here, send her an email, and she'll get you hooked up and registered for the event. I don't know for sure if I'm going to make it out. I'm doing everything I can to, but if not, you'll be in the good hands of Stephanie Baker, Dave Andrews, Mark Lawrence, and also the dog is not barking that week. Sean Simmons will be there from Blue Dog Blasting. All right, guys, thanks for joining us again at themetalfinisher.com. I hope some of these tips were helpful for some of you guys looking to get into the mobile blasting industry. If you have any product or process reviews you want us to tackle, go ahead and put them down in the comment section. Go ahead and like us on Facebook, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and get out there and blast.